If you're interested in purchasing a car that has a massive range of bolt-on upgrades, it will most likely be your Golf R. An interesting fact about these cars is that the engines found inside of them can also be found on different car brands, such as the Audi S3 and the Cupra. But let's talk a little bit more about this engine. This engine is called a CJX. It's a 2-liter inline-4 motor, which is obviously dual overhead cam and turbocharged. And that is the exact same motor we will be upgrading in this video. If you want to see an engine conversion on this car and you want to tune for it, let me know in the comments below. I'll have the video out for you within a week. But nevertheless, let's quickly go to the upgrades. So upgrades and tuning, we're going to go to custom tuning. And just to show you guys under the conversions, engine conversions, we are still here with the stock standard 2-liter. Obviously this one is bored out. I'll show you guys quickly now. It is the 2-liter. And then going over here, they give us a 1.6-liter inline-4 turbo rally car. No thank you. Going over to drivetrain, we kept this car at Quattro. Which means 4-wheel drive if you're not familiar with it. So we're gonna go quickly to engines. Here's our intake at max, our injectors at max, going all the way. I think we installed everything at max. We just gotta check the oil coolers quickly. Also here you guys can see, if we go to the stock standard one, it is the 2-liter. If we go to the upgraded bore size, it's a 2.3-liter. Going over to the pistons and compression is max. Obviously we got a bigger turbo in, and a pretty interesting fact about these turbos, I think they call it the IS20 turbo, which can obviously be hybrided. They are so darn powerful. Going over to the flywheel, it's max. The oil cooler, here it is. We did not install the biggest oil cooler because we gained 7 kilowatts, but it weighs 9 kilograms. So it still actually balances out. One can actually do it. I think let's do it. So for the intercooler over here, you can see we also have the max installed. Going to the brakes is obviously the highest. We love our rally suspension, especially when it comes to drag racing. Going over to the sway bars, we have got the strongest sway bars, aka race sway bars installed. Going over to your weight reduction, we have the biggest weight reduction installed, which makes this car 1.1 tons. That is so good. From 1.4, that is a minus 263 kilograms. That's insane. Going over the drivetrain over here, you can see the clutch is at max. Transmission is race transmission. Our driveline is a race driveline. And for the diff, it's also race. Going over the tires, we have got slicks. Going for the wheel size, we have placed the biggest wheels on them as we can because we need traction on all 4. But once again, I must tell you guys that this car doesn't have that much power. Okay, 428 kilowatts is massive power. You can actually reduce the front wheels a bit just to save a little bit on weight to give you some better times. Once again, this is a base tune. You guys can just work from it and get it better. And then for the mags, obviously you can install any mags, just make sure it's the lightest mags amongst all of them. And for the wheels, obviously I like them. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I thought these were the spacers, but this is the actual wheel rim size, and that only contributes to weight, so we didn't do that. Okay, so let's quickly move on to aerodynamics. We didn't install any of these. You guys can go ahead. For some reasons the side skirts doesn't work. I'm not sure why, but as you can see, it adds +2 drag, +7 drag. So we want less drag. We don't like drag in this game. So let's quickly jump back to the tuning. Custom tuning, and here for the tire pressure, as you might have guessed, it is at its lowest. This adds to grip because it increases the amount of drag. Obviously this does influence the top end stability a bit, but that doesn't matter. It's all about getting off the line as quick as possible. For the gearing, here you go. Also, I must say, the gearing that the car originally comes with is extremely good. I just had to go and tweak it out a bit just to make sure that all our gears have got a great amount of power that we can put down to the wheels. For the alignment, for the front camber we are -0.5, and for the rear we are +0.5. What happens is whenever you accelerate, your nose goes up, which will result into a flat 0, And for the rear, because the weight is pressing down at the back, it will actually press the wheels inward. It will negatively camber it, and that will cause a flash 0 because the current camber is already advanced a little bit. Sorry, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, if you guys don't understand camber, I'll drop for you a card in the top right corner where you can go and check out a video where I properly explain and show you guys how to do your camber. From the toe, it's 0, 0, and 7 for the angle. Anti-roll bars at max. For the springs, this car likes a bit of a stiffer rear spring than the front spring. And then for the ride height, we want this car to be very, very low. The damping, as you guys do know or might not know, your rebound stiffness front and your bump stiffness rear should be very similar to each other, and likewise the rebound rear and the bump front should be very similar. So this is what the car wanted. Going over to aerodynamics, because we don't have any body kits installed, we don't have this option. Going over to the brakes, you guys can play around here. And for the differential, we got 100, 0, 100, 0, 80. And this is why, just to explain quickly to you guys, the balance of a year is 80% power to the rear and 20% to the front. So that is one of the reasons why I also told you guys you can actually make the front wheels a little bit smaller, because most of the power is going to the back. So let's quickly head down to the road and do our quarter-mile run. So let's quickly line this Golf R up. So I just want to tell you guys quick that for some weird odd reason, this car has got launch control. The developers apparently removed it, but check this out. We can still use launch control. We can choose 3000 RPMs, maybe 2.5, or even almost 4000 RPMs. So how you want to do this is you want to actually activate your clutch for your shifting, and then you can literally use it. But whenever it does what it just did now, where it just goes up to 2000, you're just going to reverse a bit, put it in first gear, and just try again. Okay, so with this car, you want to launch at 4000 RPMs. But you don't really have to. You can launch this car almost at flat redline as well. It will give a slight amount of spin, but the actual times are very similar. So let's quickly just do a 4000 RPM launch. There we go. Holding it down, and let's go. Come on, baby. 229. That was actually really, really good. Let's quickly do a launch as well, where we just go full RPMs, send it, and see what we get. Okay, so let's quickly take it all the way. Come on, make me proud. 229 as well, but I think this point was after the decimals was a little bit better than the 4000 launch. But nevertheless, this car is flying. So let's quickly go do our drag race. Let's quickly go over the difficulty and settings. So here we got it against Pro. I'm not sure how it's gonna do. Here we got traction off, stability off, manual with clutch. Okay, let's quickly just send it down and see. Ooh, oh gosh, Type R. Oh, come on. The Type R's are powerful when it comes to top end. Damn it, how are we doing? Come on. Take the Reynolds. Go, go, go. 845's coming in. Oh my gosh. That was super interesting. I think we hit second place there. 17.451. Okay, I think that was a bad number. But anyway, that was really interesting. I couldn't believe we just outran that Reynolds, the Megane. As you guys can see here in 4th place. I can't believe we just outran him. Literally, the 845 was coming in. If this road was a little bit longer, we would have been done for. But anyway, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for popping in. I do hope that this video helped you all out. I do hope you found it interesting, educational, informative, and whatsoever. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a big like. If you would love to support the channel, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the icon on the left. If you want to see one of my most recent videos, hit the icon on the right. And then I'll see all of you legends in my next car. I mean my next video. But for now, peace out everyone.